Hello! Today I'm in Auvers-sur-Oise, and this is a very small village in Val d'Oise where Van Gogh spent the last 70 days of his life. This place attracts a lot of visitors every year, and more than being a regular tourist attraction, this is more of a pilgrimage for art lovers who come all the way to Auvers-sur-Oise to see the last resting place of Van Gogh. So let's have a look at this village. Just 27 kilometers north of Paris, Auvers-sur-Oise can be reached easily by car or train. Trains to reach here from Paris would be at Gare du Nord or Saint-Lazare. From Charles de Gaulle Airport, it is 35 kilometers. As we can see that Auvers-sur-Oise is a very small village, so traffic is very less, and these are small roads within the village itself where you can walk around and you don't have to worry about too many cars, and you can really spend all of a day just walking around here. There's so many interesting things to see, and especially right now here in the month of July, the weather is beautiful. Van Gogh was 37 years old at the time he arrived in Auvers-sur-Oise. During his time here, which was a little over 2 months, he made 80 pieces of art. This is the famous painting of Dr. Gachet, who was a homeopathic doctor and to whom Van Gogh went to often in Auvers-sur-Oise. The house of Dr. Gachet is open to visitors in this village. All through the village of Auvers-sur-Oise, we can see these metal circular plaques with the name of Vincent on it. Behind me, this is one of the iconic structures here in Auvers-sur-Oise. So this is called Château d'Auvers. It is definitely a striking chateau. Just have a look at the manicured gardens. The chateau was built in the 17th century, and it definitely was there at the time when Van Gogh lived here. These gardens in front of the chateau, they have been constructed with a certain style in mind, and it's called Les Jardins à la Française, which means the French gardens. These gardens have been restored in the 20th century. So Van Gogh would have certainly seen the castle, but I don't think that he would have seen the French garden, and it's absolutely beautiful. We are just done with the chateau, and now we are going to walk to the cemetery of Van Gogh. From the Château d'Auvers, it's going to be a walk of about, I would say, 15 minutes. Would you say that? Yeah, about 15 minutes. The preservation has been a wonderful effort on the part of the French government to keep it the way it was. So now we're going to have a look at the village of Auvers-sur-Oise on the way to the cemetery. Let's go. I am right now in front of the house that Van Gogh lived in during his stay in Auvers-sur-Oise, and the name of this place is l'Auberge Ravoux. During the other regular normal times, you can even have a lunch over here. His room was just a bare 7 meter square, so a really tiny room. He just had very few belongings like books and his painting equipment. Apart from Van Gogh, Auvers-sur-Oise also had a few other renowned painters, and one of them was Daubigny. And right behind me, this used to be the atelier of Daubigny. See, it's called La Maison Rolles. It's some kind of a cultural space now. On the way between the Château d'Auvers and the cemetery of Van Gogh, we come across the famous Église d'Auvers-sur-Oise, or the church which Van Gogh had painted. So let's have a look at the church. Let's go upstairs. We have to be quiet in here, of course. The temperature inside the church is definitely much better than outside. This is the famous church that Van Gogh painted, and you can see the image right here of that famous painting. The cemetery of Van Gogh is about a 5-minute walking distance. So we're going to be headed this direction now. Tristan. Instead of making the 300-meter walk on the concrete road to go to the cemetery of Van Gogh, so I prefer to go via the fields. And these are actually the famous fields that also inspired a lot of Van Gogh's paintings. So the way to the cemetery is actually that way. So we have an option of either taking this road over here, or we can go even this way. This is a little
This
bit...
is better.
Yeah, this is a longer route, but it definitely
It's like
is...
5 more minutes, it's nothing.
During the 70 days that Van Gogh lived here in Auvers-sur-Oise, he apparently painted about 80 pieces of art. Van Gogh died on 29th of July 1890, and he was buried here in this cemetery. So the date is given over here on the 30th of July. And one more tip for tourists coming into France, usually cemeteries do have drinking water facilities. And there, right at the end of this passage, there is a water tap with drinking water. So so this is a good tip for those who are coming into France, especially on days that are so sunny and hot. So this is the last resting place of one of the most celebrated artists in the world. He lies over here along with his brother, who died a year right after him. And as we can see, this is a very humble cemetery. We don't see famous people's names over here. Just the regular people of Auvers-sur-Oise. And as you can see, there is no tourists around. I hope that you've enjoyed this beautiful village and the few glimpses of the life of Van Gogh. I leave you with this magnificent car drive through the winding roads with trees on both sides out of Auvers-sur-Oise, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. À la prochaine! See you soon! During his time in Auvers-sur-Oise, he made a lot of what am I gonna say? And this style was invented around the 20th century. No?